Well, it seems like we just got some new details regarding the upcoming PlayStation 5 Pro. We got our first ever look at the new console, as well as some details about the release date. We've also got a couple leaks about the potential games we could see releasing alongside it. So we've got a lot to talk about, so check the video chappers for easy viewing. And without further delay, let's get into the video. So at this point, the PlayStation 5 Pro is the worst kept secret in the entire gaming industry. We know that the PlayStation is going to be revealing soon, but just yesterday, a known leaker provided us a lot of information about the console in a recent blog post. And the report starts off by saying the following: PlayStation's gaming community is starting, if not already, to stir about several upcoming events and products from Sony. This has obviously been fueled by many rumors about them. Some of the rumors are the holding of a possible PlayStation showcase event, and these rumors had unfortunately been in place for months and were being reborn systematically after every state of play event. And Sony, Jeff Grubb, who often has some very reliable sources, touched a word during the live Game Mess morning. According to him, it was the state of play instead of the PlayStation showcase that would be held in late September of 2024. The other part of the rumors is the release date of the PlayStation 5 Pro. This supposed console has been talked about since late last year, and its launch is still planned, according to some rumors, by the end of 2024. This article summarizes the rumors already mentioned in the past. They then touched on the fact that some game developers already received development kits, and while I quote stating, "While some game developers have already received development kits from the PlayStation 5 Pro, no one is yet familiar with the final design of the console, and we will have the opportunity to unveil it to you exclusively in this article. We will also share our recent discoveries about Sony's upcoming console." And then the report shifts focus to the information they currently have about the PlayStation 5 Pro. So the official name of this next upcoming console, no surprises to have here, because we now have the certainty that the console will be called the PlayStation 5 Pro, or the PS5 Pro. Next up, they talked about the design of the PlayStation 5 Pro. We were able to obtain a visual from the front panel of the final packaging carton of the new console. This allowed us to get an idea of the final design of the PlayStation 5 Pro. This has never been leaked before for copyright reasons, and we will not be able to show this visual. However, you can see below a sketch designed by us that illustrates the design of the PS5 Pro. So as you can see on the screen right here, this is what the PlayStation 5 Pro is going to look like according to them. They then said it is possible to see a design very similar to the PlayStation 5 Slim. The same white color and the outer facade of the console will be found as well, with 2 USB-C ports, and the power button will also be present on the front of the console. The first difference from our sketch is the presence of 3 black stripes in the middle of the exterior facades of the PlayStation 5 Pro. However, the type of exterior still remains similar to that of the PlayStation 5 Slim, and we imagine that to be possible to reuse some spare facades for the design of the PlayStation 5 Slim. The other difference that we can see since the final visual of the PS5 Pro is its thickness. Indeed, the PS5 Pro appears to be slightly thicker than the PlayStation 5 Slim. So from the sounds of it, the PlayStation 5 Pro is indeed going to be just the PlayStation 5 Slim, but a bit bigger with some side grates. They then continued by discussing the disc reader, to which they said, "Unfortunately, we are not yet sure about this one." Indeed, the visual that's been shown has not shown a disc reader on the PlayStation 5 Pro, and even if we think that won't be the case, we'll definitely have to ignore the existence of the disc player edition. Although it may be possible to put a disc drive like the PlayStation 5 Slim, it is thought to be the commercial choice of Sony in order to launch the console on the market with a competitive price. And the only way that you can get a lower price of a console is by lowering the specs or the additions that are added to the console. So getting it on the market with a competitive price by reducing some of the options in the console, that's probably the route that Sony is trying to take. They also confirmed that the controller will stay as the DualSense 5 controller, or the PlayStation 5 DualSense controller, so we will not be seeing any new controller for this console, which I didn't expect we would, especially since this is just kind of a mid-generation console refresh and not an entirely new generation of console. Lastly, they talked about the big announcement date for the PS5 Pro console, to which they said while Sony's plans could change at any time, the PS5 Pro would be announced very soon. We anticipate that this announcement will be made in the first half of September of 2024, which is pretty wild to think about. It feels like the PS5 just released and we've already gotten a refresh with the PlayStation 5 Slim, and now we're getting the PlayStation 5 Pro. My biggest concern that if it releases this year, it's like, who is this console for? Right now, the first party lineup for the PlayStation 5 games is a bit lacking. We're not going to be getting any new franchise games until next year, and that point around May. So it's hard to think that people will be forking out the potential $650 to buy the new PS5 Pro. In terms of games, I don't think people are going out in droves to buy this thing, especially if it's just for Astrobot. However, this could be primarily for GTA 6. Having a console that will be able to play GTA 6 at the best resolution and frame rate possible will be a big selling point. So in a way, PlayStation doesn't really have any first party games ready, especially for this new console. So really quick, I wanted wanted to pivot and talk about the leaked PlayStation 5 Pro specs. So if you didn't know, the PlayStation 5 Pro specs have reportedly been leaked, and that's according to the article that I covered earlier. So the SoC maintains the Zen 2 CPU architecture found on the current gen PlayStation 5 for the compatibility, and it will have the dynamic frequency that will peak at 4.4 gigahertz. The chip has 64 kilobits of L1 cache per core, 512 of L2 cache per core, and 8 megabits of L3 shared. It'll have 16 gigabytes of 18 gigabits per second of GDDR6. It'll have a 256-bit memory bus with 576 gigabytes of memory for bandwidth. The GPU frequency target is 2 gigahertz. This lands the dual issue of teraflops in the range of 28.76 teraflops peak, temporarily stable upscaled 4K output at a higher resolution and frame rate of 30 FPS. That is the PlayStation 5's Pro goal, and I'll make sure in the description of this video below, I'll leave a link to the leaked specs for the PlayStation 5 Pro. Reading these specs and understanding them is a legit science, so if I actually mispronounce something or missay something, that's definitely on me. But as I said before, I don't see how the PlayStation 5 Pro releases for lower than $650. Maybe they'll force it down to $599, but this system is going to be expensive, almost too expensive. With this generation being the 4K 60 console generation, we still can't even get games that are 60 FPS at 1440p, let alone 4K. But I am excited to see the new AI upscaling technology that PlayStation has been developing. Maybe it'll be a big selling point, but I doubt it. If we had some big first-party games releasing this holiday season, a PlayStation 5 Pro dropping alongside it, I could totally see a demand for it, but at this point, I really don't see it. Once they start revealing PlayStation Studio games, hopefully next year, I could see a PlayStation 5 Pro actually making sense, but I just don't see it right now. The specs of the console do look nice and the design is clean, but it's all about the functionality for these Pro consoles, and I don't foresee a game releasing this year where I need a PlayStation 5 Pro. I'm perfectly fine with my gaming PC until the PlayStation and Nintendo release another exclusive, but that's just my thoughts on the matter. I'm hyped to see what PlayStation decides to do. In some ways, I hope it's just one big general direct to reveal games coming out next year, and hopefully give us a solid timeline on stuff to look forward to with the PlayStation 5 Pro, especially like the Hogwarts Legacy director's cut that's rumored. That would definitely make me buy a Pro. Either way, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you plan on picking up the PlayStation 5 Pro? Do you even have a need for it right now? What first party title do you think that PlayStation announces next? For me, it's got to be Ghost of Tsushima 2. And also, don't forget, we're also giving away a PS5 at 80,000 subscribers. If you guys would like to enter, all you have to do is like this video, subscribe with your notifications turned on, tweet me proof that you're actually subscribed, and we will be picking the winner at 80k subs. All this information will be in the pinned comment of this video. Definitely some amazing news on the horizon for the PlayStation 5 Pro. Like I said, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below, what you think. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. This has been Zach with VGL. I'll catch you in the next one.